Real Estate Rewired.
Welcome to Real Estate Rewired, AI with a Heart with Gus Waite. And today I'm here with Rick Arroyo, and he's my boy from Fort Lee. We ended up being in the same town together. So Rick, tell everybody, what's your story? How the hell did you get into this crazy business?
It was actually a grace of God that got into real estate. I worked on Wall Street for 10 years. I worked for Merrill Lynch International Bank, West Deutsche Landesbank, and Sumitomo as a spot trader. And right before 9/11, they bought my desk out, and I always had my real estate license, and it was hanging in the state. And two women approached me at Houlihan's and Weehawken, and I said, I guess
Were you at the bar, Rick? Were you at the bar? And they came
I was
up
at the
and
bar
started hitting on
hanging
you?
out,
Okay.
and two lovely ladies came by. I'm always a talker.
Yeah.
I'm always talking. So they said, it seems like you have a good personality. You're approachable. I'm like, yeah, pretty much so. And I'm a good dancer. So with that being said, yeah, I got my license and we worked at Weicker Realtors in Hoboken. And it was just, I did it as a hobby, pretty much is this something that I want to do, part-time or full-time? And, 3 years into the business, I landed a 250,000 square foot warehouse with David Silverstein, and we converted that warehouse into 177 units. I did that with Chuck Harrington from Connor Foley. We hired an architect, we hired a developer, a builder, and Weicker, we were the listing brokers in the back end. We sold it out, and Rick Arroyo got his name in Hudson County.
So Rick, tell me, because listen, the first deal is always the one that you get shocked by, right? So how the hell did that deal come together? Walk
It
me
was
through
actually a cold call.
Get out of here.
It was
Talk to me. What happened?
So basically, I was on the front desk at Weickers in Hoboken, and David Silverstein goes, I'm looking for a realtor to represent me, in this warehouse I'm looking at. I go, what's the address? He said 300 Communipol in Jersey City. I said, don't move. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Mind you, I didn't even know where Communipol was. So I had to kind of Google it. Back then you had to do Google Maps, and there was no. So I went over there, and we met, and never judge a book by its cover. And to this day, you learn that never judge a book by its cover, because you never know who's gonna approach you, and what they're wearing, how they look. They have the money, and he had a vision, and I said, I guess I could represent you, and I put the offer in. We got it, and I fell in love.
What do you love about it, Rick?
I love the vision that someone can actually convert either an existing asset or do something like a ground up development. So in my day-to-day basis, I talk to a lot of architects, I talk to a lot of attorneys that get into, getting into entitlements and approvals for these kind of projects. And I love looking at something and say, wow, what can we actually do as a right or with entitlements or variance? And that to me is like being a director of your own movie. And when you're a director of your own movie, what do you need? You need the star, the lead actor, the supporting cast. And I think that I have a gift that I can put all the dots together. And that's how I've been very successful with, identifying assets, getting a survey, giving it to my architect and say, hey, let's work on this. I think there's a great location. I think there's room for growth here, especially we're overlooking Manhattan. How could you go wrong? Let's build it and we'll sell it or rent it out. It's not that hard to do, And
so you love the vision of and listen, Edgewater's a perfect example. I mean, when I know people who grew up in Fort Lee, they used to call them river rats, the people who lived down in Edgewater, because it was nothing but toxic dumps and gas. There's nothing there. Now, Edgewater, my God, what What does it cost now to buy a condo overlooking Manhattan and Edgewater? Where do they start
In
at?
Edgewater, you're looking, between 1,100, 1,200 sellable square foot.
Got it. And that's residential we're talking
That's all
about.
residential. Yeah.
Right. So you see a building or now how do you deal with, because I know New Jersey, toxic waste everywhere, right? I mean, that's got to be a big issue when you're trying to take something and turn it into your vision. How do you deal with that?
So again, basically, you have to surround yourself with seasonal developers that have been in the business many years, and I've been fortunate enough to go around and have lunch and dinner with one of the best developers in Hudson County. His name is Andrew Marshall. He worked for Matt Cali for many, many years. He actually built everything in West New York and Weehawken, on the waterfront. And, we sat down, we talked about, what deals that we can do together. And he actually knew Howard Milstein. Howard Milstein put together Port Imperial. He was one of the founders that helped, Port Imperial put that together in Weehawken. So actually, I know Howard Milstein. The Milstein is a major firm bank out of
Yeah.
New York, and I actually know them very well. So to me, I'm always surrounded with big whales in this business. You
Uh-huh.
have to surround yourself with big whales that they see your vision and they see that you know what you're doing. And I
Right.
love what I do. And you know, when you surround yourself with all these whales, you learn. I was a
Mhm.
sponge for many years, and then you just put your own flavor into it. And now, the next couple of weeks, we're going to Puerto Rico. We're looking to do a boutique hotel in Puerto Rico, and I'm going to be
Mhm.
one of the co-developers in that. So I have a good vision. I know how to raise equity. I know how to raise debt. When I see something and I feel it, I put all the instruments together. Whether you putting the
Got
right hospitality group together, you need a good brand, you need a good management, you need a good restaurant operator, you need a good location, and that's what I want to do.
So listen, it's funny. My tagline is we'll talk about AI a little bit. So AI turns what you love into a superpower and takes what you hate off your plate.
Right.
And I can see just by talking to you for a few minutes, Rick, you love people, right? You love sitting there at Houlihan's Hands at the bar and a
I
couple
love
and you start
people. Yeah.
bullshitting with it. You love people. So you love life. You love to
Yeah.
dance. You love to eat. You love to,
Yeah.
okay. But then the way your brain works is you see how you can take all these pieces and sort of put them together.
Absolutely.
And then you're humble enough to recognize, hey, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. So let me go find a whale. Let me find an architect. Let me find a finance guy. Like you can see the vision, but you're humble enough and smart enough to pull in the experts and sort of position yourself as the director of the show, as you put it. Right?
100%. And
you're seeing.
that's what I do on a daily basis. Yep.
Got it. And because you love doing that, it doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work. Actually, you're always thinking about the next move. Like, I'm working on a couple of big projects right now, and then, it's amazing that you can bounce from West New York, New Jersey, to down by Long Branch, New Jersey, to Manhattan, to Brooklyn, down to Miami, down to Austin, Texas, now to Puerto Rico. So my mind is always like, I'm always moving.
Mm-hmm.
My friends don't even. My friends tell me, Rick, where are you? I'm like, I'm in a tunnel. I have a tunnel vision right now, and I want to conquer what I'm conquering right now. Because the next 5 years, my vision is being on Puerto Rico on the beach, hanging out with my horses.
Oh, you're a horse guy.
I'm a horse guy.
Ah, how did that happen? Love it.
So and
How
and
did?
this is the year of the horse, right? I'm a
Yes, it
Sag.
is.
So I have a lot of things that I have to conquer this year. So this is the year that I'm going to change a lot of things. So
What are you going to change?
I'm gonna be more of a. I like to motivate people. I like to be a teamster. Like I wanna help people because everyone has a vision, but they don't know how to take it to a different level. I wanna help people. I like to mentor. I like to have my knowledge, my experience. I want to teach people. You should do it this way. I don't know all the answers, but I can get you the answer. I can help you. Like I want to be someone's platform. Like AI is a platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a data center right now in West Virginia that we're putting together, me and my partner from the West Coast. And when he told me about what we're doing, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. So I have my finger on the pulse on a lot of things right now. And I'm okay with it
Got it.
because, like you said, I like to surround myself with the right people that are a lot smarter than me.
Mm-hmm.
However, those smart people, I'm going to be an intricate person that's going to help put the puzzle together. And
Right.
that's where my passion is. How can I bring A and B together to make C? And when you can do that, real estate is amazing. It's an
Mm.
amazing field. It's not just selling houses, listing property. You gotta be you gotta be innovative of doing different things. And that's, me being in commercial now, like I only do commercial right now. Now everyone
Mm-hmm.
says, well, you don't want to list a property. I go, like I have people that can help me list a property, so I don't have time for that. I really don't. My vision is more commercial. And I
All
have a
right. Now let
passion
me
for commercial.
love it. And I see it. And you're having fun. And that's the main deal. Because if you love what you do, first of all, you attract the right kind of people into your world. And listen, there's always, Rick, I don't have to tell you, in life and in commercial deals, there's always something going wrong.
There's
There's always an
always
obstacle to
something.
always there's always an obstacle to overcome. I mean, I thought about when I remember the deal for Amazon and Queens died. And I remember thinking, oh my God, man, those commercial brokers who were working on that were
Yeah,
thinking they were going to retire
exactly.
on that. And they probably worked on it for 4 or 5 years. And then the whole thing turned to shit overnight.
It just
And you go,
that's
oh
part of
my
it's
God.
part of the business. You win some, you lose a lot.
Right.
So, when people say, "Hey Rick, what's going on with that project?" I'm like, I'm still, last year was pretty trying to raise capital last year was very tough. Dry
Mm-hmm.
powder was there, but they were not ready to pull the trigger, and we missed a lot of opportunities on the waterfront because these sellers in today's market, well, last year too, um, they want their price up here, where the market is really here, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really pencil out if you're doing a rental. If you're doing a condo, now you got to change the envelope and bring down the amount of units you're gonna do. It might work out, but the capital stack was in there, um, and we lost two major projects on the waterfront, and we worked on this for almost a year, and it
Mm-hmm.
it, it bothers me a lot because I keep in touch with the seller. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, oh, we're going hard with the potential buyer. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I missed that deal. So it hurts me that I lose a deal that I put my
Yeah,
heart
but
and
Rick,
soul.
let me ask you a question. The deals that you lose teach you the most.
I'm sorry.
The deals that I've lost have taught me the most.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that because the last deal I was working on in North Bergen on the water, I was working on that since 2005. Okay. In
Wow.
2005, I had a Korean group come from Korea, 20 guys coming from Korea to look at the site. And the seller always told us he had the approvals. Sure enough, he never had the approvals, the entitlements. And Rick Arroyo never checked to see if he had the
Right.
approvals in place. So again, to answer your questions, you learn the most. You have to have a good attorney that does their due diligence to make sure that the entitlements, the approvals are in place. And sure enough, we found out it was in litigation. It was in litigation for the next 15 years.
Right.
So I followed it.
Yeah.
And then it came out of litigation. I'm like, okay, now we can play.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, Rick. We talked about AI a little bit. You're playing around with Gemini. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about AI? When you think about it, what comes to your mind?
I think it's just another tool that helps you elevate what you're thinking. Your brain can only absorb so much, right? But if you have an assistant that can help you put it all together and elaborate more to what you're trying to put together, it helps. So the AI does help, you know.
Well, let me ask you a question. So this is the context that I look at it. Number one, we had said, if you love what you do, you're never working. You'll do it forever, right? Because you love it.
It's
It
like dancing.
fires you up.
It's like
Right.
dancing, right?
Tell
I
me,
love
what
to
do you mean like
I
dancing?
will never
Right.
stop dancing.
Right.
I told everybody, when you go to my funeral, I want you to dance at my funeral.
There you go. So, and then there's stuff that's takes away your time from doing what you love.
Yeah.
The way that I look at it is every job is a series of tasks. Every workflow is a series of tasks.
Sure does.
And the way that I frame it is as AI becomes more and more able to do the tasks that are low-hanging fruit. In other words, there's things that that it can do
Yeah.
that I shouldn't be doing.
Exactly.
And there's things that I'm always going to want to do. I'm always going to want to do the podcast. I love this. Love meeting people. I have no idea. AI puts 15 to 18 people a week on my calendar. I have conversations. I'm having a great time. It could
Yep.
be you. It could be, I talked to last week. It was fantastic. This young Vietnamese woman, her family put her through college. She's a commercial real estate broker in Dallas. She's in her mid-20s, man. She's working with nail salons, and she's sharp and she's hardworking, and you could just see her passion for it.
Right.
Why she wants to do it. She has 2 young kids. She wants to take care of her parents.
Yep.
I mean, just hearing these stories, I run into you. You're from my hometown. I mean, it's crazy
Beautiful
what
thing.
happens. It is a beautiful thing. But AI does all of that for me. I
Yes.
don't do any, it does all I don't know. I don't even know how people get on my calendar. I have a system set up. So for you, if you could take something off your plate, like something that was just taking a lot of time that you don't love doing, what would that be?
It's all my administration work.
Tell me more.
When you're trying to put together a offering memorandum, you have to go to the global banker platform. You got to put it together. That's all consuming. It's time consuming. That I don't have time. My time, I'm a mover and shaker. Like I need to meet people. I need to network. I need to, do what you're doing, being out there and seeing what's the next best thing. Like LinkedIn is the best free platform anyone can use. I don't think people realize the amount that you can use that LinkedIn. Like I get DMs, I get invitations, network events, and I use it to my advantage, and it's free. It's free. I congratulate developers that just, I just bought this, and how can we help you? I tell my guys, send out an email or text message. Just get in touch with them, congratulate them. AI could be doing that for me. Hey, send out a quick email or DM to this guy or this woman that just bought this, land. How can we help you buy other land or buy another asset or value add? How can we help you? To me, I'm always chasing. Like being on Wall Street, being a spot trader taught me so much about money and how to be consistent. Consistent is the key. You never want to make too much money and you don't want to lose for the firm. You want to be consistent. And once you're consistent, you will always have something to do.
Yep.
And
then, yeah, I love that. And part of, it's always interesting to me too, right? And so many people I talk to, Rick. It's number one, how do I stay in touch with the people that are currently in my world? then it's also like I've got all these historic people, and it's really interesting. Nobody wants, I always, with residential real estate brokers, listen, once you sell them the house, right? He was a nice guy. I like Gus, but listen, leave me alone. I don't want your zucchini muffin recipe at Christmas time. Like, I know who you are.
Right.
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 And then I'll just give you a creative use case that I found. So one of the great things about doing this podcast is I also end up talking to a lot of people who are really, really utilizing AI in innovative ways.
Sure.
Right. And so this guy put something together called the local mayor. And what it was he's residential. He'll reach out to the local businesses, the bakery, the lawn guy, the dog walker, the whatever. And he basically goes into these businesses and says, hey, listen, the dog walker, he's going to walk your dog for free. So he's now reaching out to his sphere of influence,
Sure.
not with real estate, but with connecting.
Right.
And then what happens is he doesn't say to the dog, there's no contract. He just says to the dog walker, man, if you know anybody moving, send them my way.
Right.
Because you know what? Now, if I'm the dog walker and I got 19 clients from this guy, I'm feeling guilty.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm like, oh, dude, man, I got to send someone to Rick. I feel this guy is like hooking me up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you become the mayor. Now you become the guy that's adding value. They all know you're in real estate. You don't have to tell them.
100%.
Right? And to your point, there's so many creative uses in AI for providing value for people on a regular basis where they're just like, Rick's a great guy. Like Rick is always bringing value to this. Rick is mentoring people. Rick is talking about what's going on in Florida. Like Rick is my guy. And a lot of that can be automated with the right systems.
100%. I agree with you 100%. Yep.
And then here's the other crazy thing, Rick. It has changed I think I read a statistic, every week there's 2,000 new tools.
2,000.
That are introduced. 2,000.
It's just amazing that how this has really taken off to a different level. Like,
and Rick, the people who are embracing it, like the people who get, like, this is not like in the old days you put in a SaaS, you put in QuickBooks and you're like, okay, I use QuickBooks now. It does my shit. Well, now it becomes like the pace of change is so quick. Like, how do you stay informed on it? And that's one of the things that I've ended up doing with a lot of people is basically saying, man, we got to break down your workflow. We got to figure out exactly where you're at, what you love to do, what are the things that can be automated by AI, what can't, and like present them with a blueprint, because I'm telling you, Rick, it is moving so quick that the people who really embrace that constant learning, that constant sort of updating, the results they're getting are phenomenal. And they're having a lot more fun.
Yeah. You got to have fun in what you do. If you don't have fun in what you do, I mean, you're just in it for the money. And I'm not.
Nah.
We all want money, but
yes, exactly.
You got to have passion in what you do. And for me to do something different now, it's got to be totally unreal. Because I have so much passion about real estate. I talk the talk, I walk the walk. I try to surround myself with whales, and it's taken many, many years to talk with billionaires that actually pick up the phone and say, hey, Rick, this is a great idea. I'm glad you thought about me. To me, that's unbelievable. But yet I give everything that, God has put me in the right places at the right time. And, working on Wall Street has given me a great amount of exposure,
Love that. So, Rick, let me ask a couple of questions. Somebody's 22, 23 years old. They're thinking about getting into commercial real estate for whatever reason. What are you telling them?
The first thing I tell them is you got to get yourself a mentor, a coach, someone that's going to guide you, because it takes a lot of trial and error. And if you think you could wing it, you're not going to wing this. This is not something this takes a lot of time, energy, and take it from me. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've learned a lot from my mistakes. And again, the most important thing is surround yourself with a lot people that are a lot smarter than you and that can guide you. You need to have your right attorney. You need to have your right architects. You need to have your right builder, your right developer, your right team to be for sales or rentals and property man. You need to have those ingredients. Without that, good luck. You're not gonna
And,
get there. You're not
right.
gonna.
And I have my number, but let me ask you this: how long did it take you? How many years? I mean, you got lucky with that first deal. Lucky, I mean, whatever.
So my
So, but
my first luck was at 3 year, for commercial.
yeah,
Because I was doing residential. Then all of a sudden I got myself into that commercial deal. Then I got my broker license, my broker of record license. I said, you know what? Let me open up a shop with a couple of developers and build some stuff, and we did. But yet in 2007 the market took a hit. Everyone had say, okay, what are we doing now? So you're buying notes, you're buying non-performing notes, you're buying distressed assets, you're adding value added, you gotta change. Like
yes,
everything in life is about changing. You can't just, oh, I want to sell a house, I want to list it, and I want to. It doesn't, you gotta go.
doesn't work that way. Yeah,
It
no,
doesn't
man.
work
The
like that.
incoming is constantly changing. But I go back to if you're doing what you love, because like we've both said, there's very painful deals here. There's
painful.
obstacles. Yeah, it hurts.
It's
I mean,
painful.
and I got to tell you, when I was training my agents, and I would tell them this story, and I haven't told this story on the podcast yet, but I was newly divorced, man. I had a couple of young kids. I owed, the child support, and I had this deal that was going to pay that for the next
Right.
month,
Right.
and that deal fell apart
Fell
at the
apart.
last second.
Yeah.
And I was in my car sobbing because I had to go to my ex-wife and say, "Listen, man,
I need your help.
I can't do it this month. Like I'll make it up to you." I mean,
Yeah.
and I tell my agents the next day, I put my suit back on. I started from scratch. I left that behind. I said, "All right, let me go close the deal. Let me see who I can help."
Right.
And I feel like in real estate and in life, until you've had that emotional, you are there alone and you just don't know the way forward. And you get up the next day and go, "All right, man, today's a new day. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
make it happen." Without that, it's not a career for you.
It's tough because what happened yesterday happened, right? You can only control the present. You can't foresee what the future holds because, again, like you said, here you are waiting for this deal to happen and it doesn't happen. So now you're like, wow, I was counting on this money. Never count your chickens without
Right,
making
right.
sure you have all the eggs.
Not only did I count it, I already went and got a new suit fitted.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I was like,
Well, I think that the most important thing in life is always have good suits. You gotta
Yeah,
always
you
be
got-
presentable.
that's it.
You can have no money in the bank, but if you have a good suit and you're walking like with confidence and you
Yes.
have knowledge, that's the most important thing. People perceive you as a different human being.
Right.
It's not all. It's not everything's not all about the money. It's about your knowledge, how you carry yourself, and your positive attitude. Things change, and you could be an instant millionaire because a commercial deal can take you to one quick hit. You're like, you went from this to that. When I tell people the numbers that you can make in commercial and it can happen, they go, no way. I'm like, it can happen. And when you surround yourself with the right people and you get that commission in writing and you deliver in writing and you execute, it all pays off.
So let me ask you this: the developers that you've worked with, what qualities do they have that make them great developers?
Years of experience, years of being a master developer, years of putting in the hard work and getting, for instance, a master development on the waterfront. What are we going to put here? Residential, office buildings, so you take that knowledge and you're like, wow, we can do this together. I can find you the land. You have the knowledge. Let's collaborate together. We can help raise the equity together. We can help raise the debt together because you're a seasonal master developer. I'm a seasonal broker. I know how to raise capital. So when you could do that and you have the right attorneys that know how to go in front of the board and say, this is why we're going to do this project, and you get it, you win that project. Now you have to deliver that project. How do you deliver? Again, the steps are the right developer, the right builder, the right broker, and the architect. Everything has a line. If not, it's not going to happen.
It's like a movie, man. You got to
It's
have
a
the right
movie.
lighting guy. You got to
It's a
have the right
movie.
sound guy, the props.
Every day you're making a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most important thing about my life. I'm a movie. I'm a director of my movie.
Love that. I think we're gonna end it right there, Rick. I absolutely thank you so much for jumping on. We're gonna stay on the call afterwards. I want to ask you a couple of questions, but I just want to say to our viewers, this is Rick. Rick, if someone's thinking about doing a development in Jersey, how do they get in touch with you?
Just call me up. It's Rick Arroyo, 201-280-7205. I'm on LinkedIn under Ricardo Arroyo /Rick Arroyo. I'm here for you. So
beautiful. Give me the number once again so people can write it down.
Area code 201-280-7205. It's been my phone number for 25 years.
I know. I love that too. I got the same one. 914 when I was up in Nyack. But anyway, hey, listen, everybody, thanks for watching the show. I really appreciate it. If you want to reach out, you have any questions, please feel free to DM me. You can always reach me on my cell phone, 914-420-8358. Rick, thank you so much, man. This was fantastic. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. If you've got value from today's episode, hit subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to know what you're thinking. If you're ready to turn what you love into your superpower and take what you hate off your plate, schedule your free AI discovery call. The link is in the description and pinned comment. I'm Gus Waite. Until next time.